He went from winning an MVP to being an afterthought in the league. Then, on Halloween night in 2018, Derrick Rose seemed to transcend versions of himself. But in order to understand why a 50-point masterclass felt like cosmic justice, we need to understand the journey that led to it. Rose was the hometown kid from Chicago, drafted first overall by the team he grew up idolizing. The potential was obvious. Right away, he claimed Rookie of the Year, an honor the city hadn't seen since Michael Jordan himself. He played with an explosive grace that defied physics, a breathtaking mix of acrobatic layups and overwhelming force that pushed the very limits of the human body. Before Rose's third season in 2010, he famously asked the world,
"Why can't I be the MVP of the league?"
And then went out and did it. Averaging 25 points and nearly 8 assists, he carried the Bulls to a league-best 62 wins, their best record since MJ. At 22 years old, he was crowned the youngest most valuable player in NBA history, a record that still stands today. He had seized the torch. He was the undisputed future of the league. Then, at the apex of his power, his story would take a devastating turn. April 28th, 2012, Game 1 of the playoffs. The Bulls are in complete control against the 76ers. Rose drives down the lane, a move he's executed thousands of times. He plants, leaps, lands, and then the entire city of Chicago holds its breath as he crumples to the floor. 3 letters in the diagnosis would constitute an athlete's worst nightmare: a torn ACL in his left knee. What followed was a long, grueling recovery. He missed an entire season, and when he returned, the unthinkable happened again: a torn meniscus in his right knee. The vicious cycle of injury, surgery, and rehabilitation became Derrick Rose's new reality. The explosive MVP became a journeyman. He was traded from his beloved Chicago to New York, then briefly to Cleveland, before being traded to the Utah Jazz, who waived him just 2 days later. The youngest MVP in the history of the sport was a man without a team. For many, his career was over. But there was someone who never lost faith. Tom Thibodeau, his former coach in Chicago, extended Rose a lifeline to Minnesota. The move was seen as a minor one. The Wolves were getting a veteran presence in their locker room, and little more. Nobody saw what was coming. Halloween night, 2018. The Timberwolves are scheduled to face the Utah Jazz, the very organization that had discarded Rose just 8 months prior. What unfolded that night was an extraordinary act of will. From the opening tip, he just looked like his old self. He attacked the rim with relentless aggression, contorting his body for impossible layups. He poured in 19 points in the third quarter alone, and the crowd began to sense that they were part of something historic. As the fourth quarter began, every possession felt momentous. He drained clutch shot after clutch shot, pushing his total to a new career high. After 2 free throws, the number on the scoreboard read 5-0. But the narrative wasn't complete. With seconds still remaining, the Jazz could tie it with a 3-pointer. The ball finds Rose's man wide open in the corner. Rose blocks the shot on its way up, sealing the victory with a final, decisive act of determination. The buzzer sounded, the arena exploded. Teammates swarmed him as chants of MVP, MVP echoed throughout the building. As the celebration engulfed him, 6 years of doubt, pain, and struggle came streaming down Derrick Rose's face. In the post-game interview, his voice cracking with emotion, he could barely speak.
What does it mean to you, Derrick?
Man, everything, man. I work my ass off, bro.
If this story of resilience connected with you, then you should check out this video next about quarterback Alex Smith. Doctors told him he would never walk again, then he fought all the way back to the NFL.